Okay, welcome back. Yesterday, whenever we were doing the programming, we added these lists in for notes and times. One of the things that I forgot to do was I forgot to put the broadcast note change for each of the keys, and I forgot to make it the wait until and put that into each one of those. So I'm going to do that now. I'm going to grab each one of the broadcast note change and not key V pressed. I'm going to drop them into each one of these. Now when I go into here, I just have to grab it, put it under there, and then make this C. Grab it here, drop it under, make sure you're grabbing both. And make sure you grab them both and drop them in. I need to change this to X. And this is just making it so that whenever I push the key down, it is only playing the one note. It's not playing it continuously. So if I push the key and hold it, I should hear one note like ding, and it's not just going over and over again. I'll grab this and drop it into here, and then change this to Z. So now that I've broadcast the note change in all four and put the not key Z pressed in, I'm ready to move forward with this. So if you remember yesterday, we created the notes and times lists. And then we made it so that our note was visible by clicking on this. And now you can see my two blue dots showed up whenever I clicked on that again. And now we need to add some code into our note. So click on your note sprite, make sure that it's showing the note. And so right now we're going to add code to our note sprite so that every note is stored into notes. Each clone that we create will be created at the correct time stored into our times list that we have over here. And then our goal is to make it get created for 2 seconds before the note needs to be played, so that it will come down the screen and we'll be able to see what note gets played 2 seconds before it actually has to be played. Okay, so we'll move the clones in a little bit, but for now we are going to create the code just to make the clones show up. So in order to do that, I want to make it happen as soon as I click the green flag that it starts this. And when the green flag is clicked, we are going to reset the timer, meaning that it's going to start all over again. So it's going to reset a timer, and we don't need to see it, so we're going to hide it. And now we're going to drop a repeat until code. Now we want this to happen until our notes are equal to something. And so we're going to do an equals operation in. And we want it to be equal to 0. So we want it to happen until the length of our notes is equal to 0. So I go into variables. And down here you have length of notes. And I'll drop that into the first one. So we're going to repeat this code, whatever we put inside of here, until our length of our notes are equal to 0. Now we're going to tell it when to start doing it. So we're going to wait until our timer is greater than the first time that we have. So we're going to make it item 1 of times. Wait, we're not ready for that one yet. I'm going to drop this one in. Because we want it to show up 2 seconds before, we're going to have to do it so that it minus something. So we're going to make it -2 so that it shows up 2 seconds before the time that we need it to. So now I can put my item 1 of times in. I can get it to drop in correctly. Item 1 of, I'll switch this to times, is -2. And we change it to switch costume 2. And we don't want it to switch to a specific one. We want it to correspond so that when item 1 of times shows up, item 1 of notes shows up. So instead of switch costume to 15, we're going to switch it to item 1 of notes. And when that occurs, switches the costume to that. We want it to create a clone of itself so that we move on to the next one. And then once that happens, we want it to delete itself because it will have already been done. So I don't want to be stuck with the same time in the same note over and over again. So it's going to create a clone of itself so that it can move on to the next one. And we want to delete the first one of the times in the first one of the notes. So we'll do delete 1 of times and leave the other one as delete 1 of notes. Now if I click the green flag right now, notice that all that happens is my list disappeared. I lost a number on there. So now I'm going to want to make it so that each note glides from the top to the bottom of the stage. And I also want it to show it each time. It's hiding it after each one. So now you see that my notes are empty and my times are empty because I ran the code. So I had to make sure it was showing. And then we also have to add, we didn't see them show up here at all. So we have to add code to make that happen. So I'm going to set up a new event, meaning when I start as a clone, I'm going to go to a specific location. That location being X20 and Y160. And I want it to show itself. So we hit it up here. Now it's going to show itself whenever it starts as a clone. And we're going to change the motion to glide. Two seconds to X20 and Y negative 130. And then it's going to delete itself. Now if I push the green flag in, nothing happens. Which kind of stinks because, I mean, the whole goal was to have these show up. But the reason that nothing's happening right now is because if you remember the last time, when I look at my notes and times, those emptied out. So nothing's happening because there is no note and there's no time left. So what we're going to do now is we're going to re-implement those notes and times, put those back in, and we're going to save it so that those occur every time, so that we don't have to go through and add the notes and times in every single time we run the program. We're going to make it so that they're just there. So we'll go back into notes, and I'll start adding these back in. So 1 was 1. And if you just push the enter button, it'll go on to the next one. Four is supposed to be 1. 5 is 6. And 6 is 5. Go over to the times, click the plus button. First one is 5. 5.5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So now we've created this list so that at the first time of 5 seconds, we're going to be playing the note 1, or the first note. Then at 5.5 seconds, we're going to play the first note again. At 6 seconds, we're going to play the third note. At 7 seconds, we're going to play the first note. At 8 seconds, we're going to play the 6th note. And at 9 seconds, we play the 5th note. Now, in order to store this, we're going to click Make a Block, and we're going to call this block Happy Birthday. And so we're going to need a lot of room for this, so we're going to kind of scroll down and create some more space here on notes. Let's rename this block Load Happy Birthday. Instead of just Happy Birthday, we'll do Load and an apostrophe at both ends. Just because it's telling us how to load the Happy Birthday song. So the first thing I wanted to do is to delete all of the notes and all of the times so that nothing messes up our program that we're going to add in. Now we are just going to do a lot of ads. You're going to need 12 ad blocks. So currently I have 7. 1, 2, and I need 12. So I'm going to duplicate those 5, and I should have enough of that. So I have 12 ad blocks, and instead of adding thing, I'm going to do add 1, 2 times, add 5 to notes. I'm just copying what this would be. I said did those opposite. Add 1 to notes, add 5 to times. 1 note, 5. 1, 5.5. So it's 1 note, 5.5 times. And 3. Six times. And 1 to notes. 7 times. 6 to notes. 8 times. And that should finish with 5 to notes and 9 to times. So every time that I'm going to do this, it's going to load the Happy Birthday song in, and I won't have to recreate these lists every single time. And then just to finish it out for today, we'll make it so that when the green flag is clicked, it's going to load Happy Birthday in. And then it will hide and reset the timer. Alright, that's a good place to stop for today. You'll notice that our list should contain 7 or 6 and 6. Somehow I messed it up. Let's run the program. There we go. So it contains 6 and 6 now. And now I can see these things floating down the screen and gliding to the bottom. When I click stop, you notice my notes list is empty and my times are empty. Click the green flag again. We made it so that they reappear, and at 5 seconds these will start floating back down the screen again. So now it looks a little bit like Guitar Hero, even though ours is called Binary Hero. And we're kind of progressing towards what our goal is. So on Monday, we should come pretty close to finishing our project out and moving forward.